Good morning from West Africa and welcome back once again. Today we are going to look at this emergency room visit. I got this data from data.word. I'll share the link so that you can also download and practice along with me. Okay, so when you look at the dashboard on the left, we have filters. It can be by year or month. We have on top here the number of patient visits, which is compared to the previous month. We have its trend here. You can see this green shows the day with the highest patient visit. Down here, the day with the lowest patient visit. The same thing applies to average wait time, which is also compared to the previous month. We have the day with the highest wait time and then the day with the lowest wait time. We have the average satisfaction as well. We have the visit by gender, total number of male and then total number of female. Down here, we have patient visit by day and time. This is a combination of matrix and bar chart. I'll show you how this is done. On the right side, we have the average satisfaction. We want to know the average satisfaction by age group, by gender, and also by race. So when I select age group, you'll see the average satisfaction. And then when I select gender, the same thing. And then the same thing applies to the race as well. Okay, so down here we have the average wait time by department. Now I added another page for just to display the content of the file, and then you have a search on top here where you can search. Okay, so without wasting too much time, let me open a blank Power BI desktop so that we can start designing or developing the dashboard we have over there. Okay, so let me get the file. It's a CSV file. Data, hospital, emergency room. Transform data. Okay, so I have already reworked on the column name. This is not how it is when you download it first. You have patient ID here. So I remove the underscore. So I rename some of the columns. So we have the date, patient ID, gender, age, satisfaction score, first name, last name, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I want to separate this column so that we can have the date separate and the time separate. So I'll select this column. I'll go to add column. There, I'll just select, make sure the date column is selected. Then I'll go here and say I need date only. I'll still keep this date column, the original one. And then this will be date and time. Or date time. And then from the same column again, I'll make sure I select add column. I'll go to time and I need time only. Okay, so this is the one I added first. Let me make it date. Very good. I want to keep it simple. Normally I could have just created another table just to keep the risk separate and also the department referral separate. Okay, so let's close this and get to our report view. Okay, so we have our data loaded here. So let's go to table view. We can see our data here. Okay, so because I need for the filters, we need the year and the month. We need to create a calendar table. Okay, so let me just go to table view, create new table. Then I'll paste this here. Okay, so what does it say? Let me push this somewhere. So it's going through the entire all the tables that we have, get the date, That's the beginning and end. Now take out the year from that date, the month, and this month is going to be Jan instead of January because I have three M's here. We have the month number, the day, the weekday, week number, and so on and so forth. So let me press enter and see what we get here. Okay, so we have this. Now, when you do it this way, you can see that it's giving us 1899 going all the way to 2020. Meanwhile, in our data, we don't have anything like 1899. So there, we need to be very careful. I think it's because of the time that we have in the original file. Okay, so I will change the function. What we need to do is to, let me show you this. Then here what we have is the hospital date. So I'm specifying this date. I need the minimum year. And then here I need the maximum year. Okay. So it's only going to look at this column in the table, get me the minimum year, get me the maximum year. And then here is creating a table by adding the date starting from the minimum year to the maximum year. Then here it will take out the year just like I explained earlier, and I think the rest are okay. So let me press enter and see what we have here. So this is correct. You can see the data start from 2019 all the way to 2020. Okay, so you need to be very careful with calendar. It's sometime. Okay, so let's go to our model view. What we need now is to link this date to this date, not the date time. And then we click save. Very good. Okay, so we can go to our report view and then start bringing in our filters. But before then, I have the background already designed using PowerPoint. Let me bring that in. So browse. Then I'll bring this here. It's not going to show until you make this 0, the transparency 0. Okay, so we have this here. This is what we are going to use. Okay, so let me start bringing in the year and the month. So I'll use the new slicer. Go to calendar, then I'll select year. Okay, so we'll do a bit of formatting. I'll go to layout. I want the column. I want this to be a single column. Okay, and I don't want the title, so I'll turn it off. Okay, so reduce it, put it somewhere here, use it again. Okay, so what I'll do is I don't need the background. I'll turn it off. I'll go to buttons. I don't need the border to be off. The fill is also off. Okay. Now I'll go to call out values. I'll make them white. Very good. Okay, so when it is selected, so here you go to selected. I want it to be bold and maybe 14. That is when it is selected. Okay, so let me select one and see. Now you can see. Now I'll go down here. I need to show the accent bar. Select bottom. And I want to use the white color. Okay, so this is when it is default. So the width should be just 1. But when it is selected, I want the width to be 4, something like this. Okay, so let me expand this so we can have this. This is okay. Push it a bit to the right side. Okay, so we have this now. I can copy, and always I want to be sure that one is selected. So first selection should be turned off. Okay, so I'll copy this, paste it down here, and in this case I'll deselect the year and then I'll select month. But now when you look at the month, April comes first, but that's not how I want it. So I'll select month here. I want to filter it by month number. Okay, so we have January, and here it's showing only 3. You will have to scroll down. So I'll go to layout and then make sure I select 12, and then the space between them, let me leave that for now. Bring this down, this up. Okay, so April is selected. Let me check the space. Push that to 2. Okay, and also I'll go to call out values, default. I want it to be centered. I didn't do this. I need to do the same thing for this as well. I want it to be centered. Very good. Okay, so one is done. Let me go back here and see what we need to do. Okay, so for the dashboard itself, we need to start creating the number of patient visits. We'll create the previous month, we create the growth. Okay, so let's quickly do that. Okay, so I'll go here. Now, because I want to create measures, I'll create a table for all the measures. So I'll go to enter data. Make sure you are in home. You go to enter data and then type all measures or all metrics. Okay, so load. Okay, so here it comes with a colon by default. Now let me start creating my measures. So I'll click new measure. I'll right click here, click new measure, or you can also click new measure on top here. Then I'll type patient visit. So that will be count rows. So we want to count the rows that we have in the hospital ER table. Okay. Now the next one is to create the average wait time. So AVD wait time will be equal to average. Then we have the wait time column. The next one is to create the average satisfaction score. So new measure, average satisfaction score, and the same thing, we use the average function. Then we select the satisfaction score. Okay, so we have these 3 now. Let me go and bring the visual. So I'll go to home. I'll go and select the card new. So we have it here. I'll select patient visit number 1. I'll select average wait time, and then I'll select average satisfaction. Then just make it bigger. Let's stop somewhere here. Okay, so for this we need to calculate the previous month, calculate the variance, then we calculate the growth, and then calculate maybe we create a measure for the growth having the arrow. Okay, so I think I've done some of these things in my previous videos, but let's go over again, at least for one, then we can copy and paste for the rest. Okay, so I'll use the patient visit, new measure. So we'll calculate the patient visit for the previous month. So patient visit PM, that's previous month. Then I'll use the calculate function, come down here, reference the patient visit, then I'll go down and use the previous month function. You can also use date add and do -1. So previous month function, then I'll pass the calendar date. Okay, so I'll close it down here. Then we have our previous month. Now the next one is to calculate the variance, which is the current patient visit minus previous month. So I'll go again, new measure. I can select it from top here, or right click and select new measure. So patient visit variance. This will be patient visit minus patient visit previous month. Okay. Now out of this, we can easily calculate the growth. So I'll go again, new measure. Patient visit growth will be equal to, so we are dividing the variance by the patient visit previous month. Okay, so we have this here. Now with that, we can calculate the, we can now create the measure for patient visit growth with the arrow. So what we want to do is, if you go here, you can see the growth comes with an arrow. So let's go and create a measure that can handle that. So I'll go to new measure. So this is going to be patient visits growth with arrow. And then here, I'm going to make it a bit simple. So if is blank, this is different from the one I've been using. If it's blank, patient visit, then give us blank. Then I'll go down again. If, that is else, if the patient visit is not blank, then I'll go and check if the variance, so patient variance is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, then I want to show the average, the patient visit growth. So patient visit growth, I'll multiply it by 100, and then I'll add the percentage to show it is in percentage. Then I'll add the arrow. So I can even add the arrow direct here. So for the arrow, you can press window dot to go and get the arrow. So you can see we have some here. So let me use this, the growth, if it is greater than 0, so I want to show it is up. Okay. Now, comma, if it is not greater than 0, here greater or equal to 0, if it is not, then we'll show this same thing. Then it goes down. So window dot again. Then we use the down arrow. Okay. I'll take out this. So I'll close this. Close the first if as well. Okay. So let me press enter. Let's look at what we've gotten. Here, patient visit growth with arrow. So I can just click it to see what I get. Okay, so you can see here we have to format it. So let's go back here and round this 14 I want. Then we do the same thing for this guy here. Okay. Okay, so let me go and check 2020 March. Okay, so this is it. Now I want to also color it. So if it is greater, it should be green. If it is less, it should be red. Okay, so let me go and create a new measure. Patient visit, sorry, patient visit growth color will be equal to if patient visit growth is greater or equal to 0, it should give me green. If it is less, it should give me red. Okay, so it should be good now. Okay, so let me quickly see what we have down here. So I'm going to use that in the patient in the new card. So I'll go to reference. In reference, patient visit is selected. I'll add the group here. Let me put this somewhere here. I need the filter for now. So this will be brought here. Then we can see. Now I want to change this title. So I'll go to select label. I'll select this one. I'll go to field name, custom. Then I can change this to since last month. Okay, so we have this. Now I want to change the color. So this is what I'll do. This is where we can change the color, the value. I'll go to this feature, select field value, color, patient visit growth color, and let's go and see. Now it is green. Now the title, I want to reduce the size. I'll make it 10. So we have this here. Very good. Let me format the new card now. First, I don't need the background. I'll turn it off. I'll go to the card down here. I don't need the border. I'll turn it off. Background also off. I will need the accent bar. Change the color of the accent bar to this, which is okay. And I don't want the accent bar of the first one to show. So I'll go here, select patient visit, then turn it off. Good. Now, what I want to do is to take out this background for the reference. So I'll go to reference labels, select all, no divider, which is okay. So let me pull this here. There's another thing. You can see that when I'm dragging it, look at it. The reference just goes down there. So let me go to spacing, reduce this to 2. Okay. So I can reduce this a bit. This looks a bit okay. I'll reduce the size of my callout values. to 30. Okay, so it's looking better now. Very good. Now, I'm going to repeat the same thing for just a minute. I'll pull this thing up. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the same thing for average wait time, average satisfaction score. So I'm going to create all these measures for them. That is the average satisfaction score, previous month, and co. So I'll pause the video, create the measures, and then we can continue. Okay, so the measures are created. So let me start adding them right away. It's the same thing like we did for patient visit. So I'll just go back, select the new card. I'll go to reference labels. This time I want to do it for average wait time. I'll add the average wait time growth with arrow here. I'll select the label. I'll go to title, select the content. So I'll select custom here, select all, and type since last month. Okay, and the color too, I'll go here, select field value, average wait time. Let me just type color. So average wait time, growth color. Okay. Sorry, I'm doing it rather for the title, which is wrong. So let me remove it. Reduce the size of the title. I'll go to value rather, conditional formatting, field value, type color, average wait time, color. Okay, so we do the same thing for average satisfaction score. Average satisfaction score group with arrow here. Select the label. If you don't select the label, it will be difficult for you to even work with detail and code. So always make sure, and also we cannot change the title, that's the content. So make sure you select the label here, and then you can have access to this custom. Then we can say since last month. Okay, now the title should be 10. We go to value, conditional formatting, then we select color, average satisfactions, logo color. Okay, so very good. Now you realize this is green because the wait time, if it is less, that is good. If it is greater, then it becomes red. Now we are good. Let's go back here and check what we need to add. Here, we need to add the trend. So let me quickly add that. So we go to, I'll select the area chart. I'll select patient visit. That's number one. Then I'll go to the calendar table and select weekday. Okay, so we are not going to use the weekday. We should use the day rather. That is from 1 to 30. Okay, so we have this here. Let me format it. I don't need the title. I'll turn it off. Value will also be turned off. I'll go to y-axis. I'll turn this off also. The title also off. I want to use this color for it. So I have a color here. So I'll go to line. I'll change the color to this. Okay, C05 BFF. Good. So I can reduce the size a bit. Let me turn off the background. And drag it here. The shade should be, let me make it 90. This is okay. Okay, so I can now copy and paste this. Put it here. Change just the patient visit to average wait time. Then I'll do the same thing for average satisfaction score. Average satisfaction score. Okay. Reduce this a bit. I want to change the average satisfaction score to average. Okay, so this should be a bit smaller. Let's make this also smaller. We'll bring it down a bit. This also will go down. This also smaller. Bring it a bit down. Okay, this is good. It should be on the same line as the other one, something like this. Okay, now there is something that we added here. Let me quickly check. So this shows the highest, the day with the highest patient visit. Okay, so we are going to create two more measures for this. One measure to highlight the highest uh, day with the highest patient visit, and the same thing here, the day with the highest patient visit and the day with the lowest patient visit. Okay, so let's quickly do that. I'll create a new measure, so I'll right click here, new measure. Patient visit max value. So first I want to calculate the max value. So I'll just put it into value. Then I'll use the max excess function. Or calendar day, and then the patient visit. So I'm just looping through, considering the day, and then I'm getting the patient visit. So this will give me the max, and then I can return that value. Let me just return it here. And see what I get. Okay, so let's go and select this, then and add the max, patient max value. This is what we get. You can see it on top here. So it's highlighting the top one here. So what I need to do is to rework on my max value again, add some check. So what I'm going to do is if maybe I'll create a check a variable to just check. So what I'll say is if my value is equal to patient visit value, display my value, else give me blank. Okay, so down here I'll just return the check. In this case, the line is not going to be long again, so let's look at it so you can see it on top here. So we do the same thing for the minimum. So let me copy this, create new measure, this is going to be main, so main x, so it's going through all this using the grouping by date, and then it will check and then return the check. Okay, so that's all we need to do. Let's go and add that also here and see what we get. So I'm selecting the main value, and you can see it's showing down here. Okay, so I don't need this legend on top. Let me turn it off. So we have this. Now for the one on top here, I want it to be green. Let me just go to lines here, select that particular one. So max, I'll go to color and change it to green. Okay, so we have this here, which is not bad. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing for average wait time and max average satisfaction score. So let me just copy and paste these two. So I'll copy this new measure, average wait time max value, and this is the only thing we are going to change. Average wait time and it's going to be the same thing down here. Okay, sorry, this will give us an error. Check this out. Okay, and then I'll repeat the same thing for our value. There is something wrong somewhere here. Average wait time. Let me commit again. Okay, we are good now. So I'll create another measure for average satisfaction score. Since I have the maximum value copied, so average satisfaction score max value. So here I can press Ctrl Shift L for log to select all, then average satisfaction score. Okay, so for this we are good. I'll do the same thing for the minimum. So let me go and copy this, go to new measure, this is going to be average satisfaction score mean value. So Control Shift L for log, average satisfaction score. Commit this, Then I'll copy and paste and do the last one for average wait time. So average wait time, I can copy this and come and paste it here. Very good. So let's quickly add that to our visual here. So I'll select this and add the average wait time maximum value and then average wait time minimum value. Then I'll take out the legend. I'll change the line, the max value for this to be red. And then we change the minimum to be green. Okay, so for the last one also, I'll add the max and the min. For the max, we make it green, and then for the min, we make it red. Okay, so one last thing I need to do here, I want to change the color and then also the line size, the line width. So I'll select this average wait time, change the color to this, and then the width should be 1. The same thing applies to this. Select the average satisfaction score, select this color, and then make it 1. Also this will be 1. Okay, so this looks perfect. Let's now go to the next visual. We have visit by gender. Let's quickly do that. So I'll bring in my line chart. Patient visit. We have the weekday, and then we select the gender. I want the weekday. Here we can see Tuesday, Monday, Sunday. That is not nice. So I want the weekday to be sorted by week number. So let's go here, week number. Very good. So we go back to our visual. Select the visual again. I can untick and select it again. So we have Sunday, Monday, all the way to Saturday. Okay, so I will now go to hospital here, select the gender. So we have here, there's female, male, NC. Okay, so I want to go and filter my data and then take out the NC. You can choose to maintain it, but let me take it out. So here I'll just filter gender by maintaining only female and male. I'll click OK. So close and apply. Then it brings us back here. Okay, so quickly I want to change the color for the two and then do a bit of formatting. So let me select this. For X, the title is already out. I don't need the title for Y. I don't need the legend. And also the lines. I'll use this color for the first one. So for male, I'll use this color which we have already, and then for female I'll use this color. For female I'm going to use the 0CFFC. Okay, no, not that color, sorry. I'm using this order, FE8D1F. Okay, so we have this now. So the line here, I want it to be smooth, so I'll select all, then come to this and change it to smooth. So we have something like this. I want to take out these lines that we have here. So I'll go to grid lines and then remove it. Okay, so we have this which is okay. So patient visit by weekday and gender. Now there is this I did here, which we can just, let me bring this card in. Select patient visits. Okay, and then I'll go here and just filter it by gender. So I'll bring in my gender and then I'll select male. So we have male here. Now I need to change this to male. So for male we have 273. Let me quickly format it to be 25. Go here and remove the background. So we have this here for male. Then I can copy this and then paste it here, and this will be changed from male to female. So we have this ready. Now I'll bring in a shape, rounded rectangle. For this I'll go here, no border. I want the fill to be, for male it will be like this. Then I'll go to size and style, give it a shadow, and I want the shadow to be the same color. Okay, so I can bring it here. Then I'll copy it, paste it down. I'll bring it down here. Sorry, we forgot to change this one to female. To change it, we just go here, female. Okay, so I'll now go to the shape, change the color to that of the female color I use. So go here, shape style, the fill will also be this. So we have this ready. Okay, now the next one to do is this particular one, the visit by age group. So let's go here, visit by age group. So I'll bring in my bar chart. This is going to be here, visit by age group. So patient visit by age group. Now we don't have the age group here. So I want to group the age in a way that we have children. Let me go here. We have adult, children, and then seniors. So from 1 to 17, I made it children. From 18 to 64, I made it adult. And then greater than 64, seniors. You may choose to do it different, but this is how I chose to do it. Okay, so let me go here, right click on age, and then I'll create a group. So new group here. In new group, I'll change this one to age range. Here I'll select list. Okay. Now from 1 to 17, I'll group it. And then name it children. From 18 to 60 or 64, let me use 64. I made it adults. That's just for example. You can choose to do it differently. And then here will be seniors. Okay, so I click OK. Then we have our group created here. So what I'm going to do is to make sure this is selected, this visual is selected, and then I'll select age range. So we have this here. Let me format it. So I'll go to my formatting tool. I'll go to the x-axis. Rather to remove the title. Okay, so we have this here. I want to reduce the size of the column. So let me go to layout, reduce it maybe 40. It's okay. Very good. I'll change the color to this color. Okay. The title size can be 12, and then I want to use this color for it. The same thing here. The title will be 12, then I use this color for it. Okay, there is something I did here, just trying out something I saw somewhere here. You can see there's this color here. So let me show you how I did that. So quickly, let me remove this lines, these grid lines from there. Okay, so what I did, there's age range here for x-axis. So title is out. Okay, so what I did was to check, okay, so what is the maximum value of this? It's 301. But I'll just create a dummy measure that will have 500. Or maybe what I'll do is I will just get the maximum and add some 200 to it. But for now, let me make it 500, and then we proceed from there. So I'll create a new measure. Then I'll say patient visit dummy. I'll just call it dummy and make it 500. I can get the maximum of patient visit and add 200 to it. But let me make it very simple. So 500. So I'm adding it to this visual. Make sure it's selected. You can see it is here, 500. They have the same size. And what I'm going to do is to put them together. So overlap. Then I do this. Look at it. I selected overlap before I was able to do it. If we don't select overlap, you have it this way. Now overlap is on, and then this is 100. You can see they are together. And what I want to do is to change the color of the first one so we can see a difference. But the patient visit itself has the color that no, so we select this color for patient visit. Now we go patient visit dummy. It's going to be the same color, but the transparency will be maybe 80, something like this. And then we take out the legend, and then I'll reduce the title, patient visit. Okay, so this is going to be patient visit, not patient visit dummy. So patient visit by age range. Very good. Okay, so we have this now. Let's look at the next visual we have to do. Let's do this quickly. So average satisfaction by the either by age group, gender, and race. Okay, so let me quickly go here. I'll bring in a table. So I'll select the first one. Let's just try something quickly just to see what we are going to have. So by race, I'll select race. So we have the list here. I'll select the average satisfaction score. So we are going to see for each one of them. Let me reduce this to score. So you can see, and then let's make sure this is sorted in descending order. So we have 6.6 and so on and so forth, all the way down here. Okay, so what I want to do now is to bring in these stars that we have here. You can go to this website, emojidb.org, and then search whatever you want to get here. So I can just copy. The moment I click on it, I can copy. Then I'll go and paste it in Word Notepad and just use one of it. So let's go here. What I want to do is to create a measure that will display the number of stars based on the score. So let's go here, create new measure. So in this, what I'm going to say is score rating, something like this. So I'll use the repeat function. What do I want to repeat? I want to repeat the star that I copied from there. I want to repeat this how many times? If I put 5 here, it will come 5 times. Let's try and see. So I'll put 5 there, and then let's add our score rating to this table. So score rating. So you can see we have 5 all the way down, but we need to uh, link it with the score here. So I'll go back to the score rating, come back here. I'll just say, okay, so use the average score. Average satisfaction score. Okay. Very simple. This is the repeat function. So we have it here now. You can see everything is okay here. Okay, so we can change the color for the score rating. We don't need the total. So let's quickly do a bit of formatting here. First of all, let me use space for this. Okay, so we have the score showing. Let me go to values, change this to white as well. Okay, so we don't need a line. So let me go to grid, take out this line. The total should be turned off. So we have this, which is not bad. I'll go to values. I want to change this color to the color we'll be using, the color of the stars. So let's go to specific column. And then here I'll make sure I select that particular column. You remember I changed it, I removed the label and I made it just space. So I'll select that one. I'll come here to test color and select this, and the color will be changed. Okay, so what is the last thing to do here? In this one, we didn't show the column headers. So let me quickly go back here. I'll go to column headers, turn the text to white. You may decide to leave yours, that's okay. So, and then also the line here should be taken off. So I'll go to grid, I'll go to border, I'll change the line color to white. Okay, so we have this now. And the table background should be turned off. So we have this now. Now, what I want to do is to be able to select age group, gender, and race. Currently, we have race. So what I'm going to do is to select modeling, go to new parameter. I want to create some field parameter. Now here, I'll change the name to satisfaction score param. The first one is the race. The next one is the gender. What else did I add? The age group. So the age range. Okay. Then I'll create, it's going to create a filter for me. So I have this here. What I want to do now is to select this visual, the table. Now instead of race, I'll change it to the satisfaction score param. Now we'll make sure one is always selected. So I'll select the filter, the slicer, go to slicer settings, selection, single, select. Okay, so race is selected. You can see if I select gender, look at it. If I select age range, we can see. Okay, very good. So this, instead of using the old slicer, I'll use the new one. I'll take out the end of the title. I'll turn off the border, the fill as well. I'll give it accent bar. The accent bar will go down. By default, the width should be 1. The accent bar should have this color. This is showing for selected. Sometimes you need to be very careful. I wanted it to be default rather. So by default, the border is off. There is accent bar. Accent bar is down. The width should be 1. The color should be this. Now I'll go back and select selected. I'll come down here and make it width 4. When it is selected, it should be 4. Or you can make it 5. Okay, now you can see that our label is not showing here. So let's go to call out values because it is white. So here we want it to be black. So when it is selected, you select selected and then you change it to black. And then we'll make it 14 and then bold. That is when it is selected. Okay, so let's look at what we have here. I'll turn off the background. Okay, so let's look at what we have here. If I select race, you can see, reduce this a bit. It should also come this way. If I select gender, you can see it's changing down here. And then age range. Okay, so when it is selected, because it's long, it's not showing all, which is bad. So let's just go back to our call out values. Then we can reduce it to 12. Since it is already bold, that's okay. So that is fine. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, okay, so the next one is this. average wait time by department. So let me go to average wait time by department. So select this visual, average wait time, and then by department. Okay, so let's do a bit of formatting here. So we don't need a title for this. For X, we don't need a title as well. The title on top here should be 12. The color should be this. I think I took out the X values because I use the data labels. Okay, so let me bring this here. Okay, so the next thing to do is to change the color of the bars to this. Conditional formatting. We want to show the highest value should be this one. Same color we've been using. Let me paste it here to be sure. And then the lowest value should have this color. That's D0 CFFC. Okay, so we click OK. So from top down, we don't need the legend. Take this, turn it off. Okay, so this is it. I want to add a background to the data label. The background should be the same color, just that the transparency will be 90. So this is okay. Very good. Now let's go here and work on this. Okay, so quickly I'll bring in the matrix. Where is it? Here. Okay. The first thing we have here is the day. And then on top we have the hours. So let me go to the days. Here we have the weekday. So you can see here. And then we have the hours. Now, in our hospital emergency room table, we have start of hour. I think we have time. Let's go to the table and see. So I'll go to transform data. I'll go to transform data. Let's look at this. Look at how the time is. We cannot use this. If you look at this here, you will see the time is 00, 1, 2, 3. So this midnight, 1 o'clock, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., all the way to 11 p.m. So how do we get that done? I'll select this time. I'll go to add column. I'll go to time, and then I'll go to hour and say give me start of hour, and look at it. So we have, instead of 8:47, it's giving me 8. It's giving me 11 here. It's giving me 9 here, which is very good. So let's go back. I'll go to home, close, and apply. Now here, let me bring it in. Let's see what we get. Start of hour. Come. Look at it. Because it is 12:00:00 a.m., it's taking a lot of space, which is not what we want. Okay, so what I want to do is I'll create another column and then format the time to give me only the hour. So let me go to table view here. I'll select the hospital ER table. I'll just add a new column. So I'll select new column here. Then here I'll say hour is equal to format. I'm formatting the start of hour, this column that I just created, start of hour. Then I'll just say, give me only the hour. So let's see what we get here. So here should be, you see 1 p.m. is 13, then we have 12 p.m. is 12, 7 a.m. is 7, which is what we want. So let me go back here to report view. In report view, instead of using the start of hour, I'll use hour that I just created. So I'll select this. So now you can see. Very good. So I'll bring it down here. Let's select now our patient visit. So we have it here. Nice. Now we take out the totals. We don't need this total. So column subtotal, row subtotal. We don't need that. The next thing to do is to go to cell element. Watch this carefully. We are in cell element now. Patient visit, column is selected. Background color, look at it. I'm turning it on. Now, font color is also turned on. Some people prefer to leave the font color, but I'll turn this on. Look at it. So now, I'm not going to use this color. So what I want to do is to go here. For the highest value, what I did earlier is what I'm going to do here. For the highest value, I select this. For the lowest value, I'll select this. Then I'll click OK. Then we have, I'm going to do the same thing for the font color as well. I have this already copied. So for the lowest, I have this here. And then for the highest, I have this here. Okay. So I click OK. And then this is good. Now, another thing we need to do, I want some space between the cell elements. So I'll just go to grid. In grid, I'll enable the horizontal grid lines as well as the vertical. And then here, I want the color to be white. You can see. And then we have here also, I want the color to be, for the vertical grid lines, I want the color to be white. You can see. Now, I want the width of each one of the line to be 2. So it's giving us some space. This one will also be 2. Okay. If you increase, this is what you get. So I'll just make it 2 because I need more space. Okay, so this is fine. Now for these values here, I want all to be white. So I'll go to values. The alternate background should be white. Very good. The weekday on top here is not needed. I can take it out. So what I can do is just to select all, put space there, and press enter. Okay, so this is good. The grid lines on the header here is not needed. So I'll make it white. Very good. So now the next thing to do, if you look at this visual here, this is a bar chart. This is also a bar chart. So let me go and quickly bring them in. So I can select another visual here. So clustered bar chart. And this is going to have, because it's going to be on this side, we need to bring in the weekday on the y-axis, the weekday on the y-axis. So I'll select the weekday, and then I'll select the total visit. Okay, make sure it is aligned the same way you have it here. So Sunday first, Monday second, all the way to Saturday. Let's quickly format this so I can select this, the one I have done before. I'll go to format painter, Then I'll highlight, I'll just click here. Sorry, I made a mistake. Just I rather click here. Okay, so I'll start all over. I'll select this visual here, format painter, then I'll click this. So I have this, just that I don't want it to, okay, so I have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday here. I don't want to show the data label. I don't want the title. I don't want the value for the y-axis. I don't want the value for the x-axis. Okay, so this looks okay. I will now reduce the size, then put it here. I'll reduce this as well, turn off the background, and then you can see, but the size is smaller. So let me go to the bars, make it a bit bigger. No, sorry, it should be less. Okay, so I'll make it 10. Then increase this as well. Good. So this is it. Now you can see here, Tuesday has the highest. Very good. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, so to have the same space in between, I'll push it a bit again. Good. So let me copy this and paste it down. For this one, I want it to be the clustered column chart. So we have it this way. Now, instead of having the weekday selected, I'm going to select hours. So I'll go to calendar, I'll take off the weekday, I'll go to hour. So for hours, you can see we have this. Now let's cross check if the tally. This is 23 here. What do we have here? It's showing 12, which is not good. So we need to format, we need to sort this by hour. That's number one. Let's check if it is okay. This is 20. So we sort it by in descending, in ascending order rather. So we have, let's check again. This is 23. Let's check here. This is 0, which tallies with what we have in the column here. Okay, so now how do we make this 10 down rather? So face down. So what we do is to go to the y-axis. Is it y-axis? X-axis. Rather, we go to, I think it's y-axis. Yeah, so y-axis, sorry. And then the only thing you have to do here is invert range. You can see it's now facing down. Now you can bring it down here. Okay. And then I'll drag it a bit here. Let's see. Okay, let me put this way. Okay, so I can go here and adjust the size a bit. So the width should be 8. Let me see. 7. Okay, this looks better. Okay, very good. Now you can see that we've tried to build something which is not bad. If you look at it here, there is a place where I show, okay, so the busiest day is Tuesday for the selected month and year, and the busiest time is 4 p.m. Okay, so we need to create measures to calculate the busiest day and the busiest time. Okay, so let's go and create that measure. I have it already created. I'll copy and paste and explain. Okay, so let me get that. I'll create a new measure. Okay, so I have the new measure here. Let's see what is going on here. So what this is doing, you can see I added some comment here. This, the number one, you see the top end. What we want to do is to go through the entire record. We are creating, with the summary, we are creating a temporary table just to get the days and the total patients. So the total patient visit will be grouped by the day name. Okay, so I don't have anything like day name here. So let's use the day that we have in calendar. Okay, and then here, this is not day, it is weekday rather. Weekday, I think this is also the weekday. Okay, and then here, instead of patient, we have patient visit rather. Okay, so what is this is doing is to group the summary, the summarize function is creating a temporary table out of the hospital ER, grouping the total patient visit by the weekday. And then I gave it a name here. So this is the column name. So here I'm taking out, this specifies that you want to sort the summarized database on the total patient column. So this is the total patient column that I created. Okay. And then using the top end, I'm sorting it in descending order so that I can get the highest and now display the weekday. Okay. So let me just press enter here. And then we have the busiest day. Don't be scared. If you need any explanation here, let me know. So let's go and select the busiest day and see what we get. So I'll select busiest day here. It's giving me Tuesday, but this may not be informative to some people. It'll be like Tuesday. It doesn't make that much sense. So what I did was to go back to the calendar table, and then I added a new column that will have the full date name. So press here, day name is what I have, and what I did was to format this. I have one example here, sorry. I have one example here which I can use. So, and then I use DDDD. So this will give me, sorry, it will give me an error. It looks like I have the day colon already. So this is going to be day name. So press enter. Sorry, day name. Okay, so for that, I can now go back to the busiest day measure that I created and change the weekday to day name. Okay. Okay, so we have Tuesday here. Okay, so I'll create another one for busiest time. I have it here for busiest time, new measure. Then I'll paste it here, busiest time. Here, this is going, it's just the same as what I did earlier. So this is going to be patient visit. And then in this case, I'm returning the start of hour. But if you return the start of hour, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let me just comment this. I want to remove this and paste this here. Okay. So let me select the busiest time and see. This is how it comes. Look at it. So what I did was to format it. So when you go back here, Control Z, just to go back to what it used to be. So it's only going to give me the time and specify whether it is AM or PM. Okay, so let's go back and see what we get. So this is it. Busiest time is 4 p.m. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is to format these two. Category label is not needed. The size should be 15. The color will be this, and then it will be bold. So the busiest time is here, and then let me just bring in the text box and say the busiest. Okay, so this will be, let's say, 12. I'll put it down here, turn off the background. I'll put it down here, and because I want to have a bit of control over it, I will not use this card. So let me bring in another label. So this label will be the busiest. So already I've mentioned the busiest day on top there. So the busiest on top there. So the busiest day is, then I'll click here to select. Let me do it on top so we can see everything here. Okay, so this is selected. Here I'll type busiest day. That's the name I gave my measure. So busiest day. Is it giving me an option? Busiest day. Let's see. Okay, so we have the option now. Busiest day. Then I'll click save. So it's showing Tuesday here. Very good. I'll make it bold, maybe 12. Then I'll change the color to this color. So I can break it down here. So the busiest day is Tuesday. I'll copy and paste. I'll do it here. So this time I'm removing this from there. Then I'll click the value again to add a dynamic value. Then busiest time is what I need to select this time. Busiest time is showing 4 p.m. already, so I click save. You can see it's the same as this. So bold, color this, and then we make it 12. Okay, so the busiest time, so this will change to time, and there we go. So I'll bring it down here. The busiest time is 4 p.m. Let me select another month and see, April. So you can see the busiest day is Thursday and the time is 11 p.m. So we go back to March, so this is fine. Let me delete this. So this is not bad. You can make it better. So let's go now and add. I'll change this to dashboard. We add another page, and then here may be the detail or summary. It depends on whatever name you want to give it. Summary. Let me bring in the background I created for this. So let's go images and icon. I'll bring this one here. It won't show until you make the transparency 0%. So we have this here, and then I'll bring in a table. We have a table here. Okay, so this is basically bringing almost all the columns we have in the file. Okay, so let me quickly go here. Sorry, I'm already in data. Hospital. So patient ID. Patient ID. The next one is what? Patient ID. Date, name, gender, race. So date, name, gender, race, date, name. Let me use the date and time rather. Date and time, gender, race. Okay, so date, name. For the name, I created a full name. So I made the first and the last name. So let's go here and quickly do that. Let's go to transform data. In transform data, I'll make sure I select the add column tab. I'll go to first name. I want the last name to show first. Then I'll select last name, select first name second. Then I'll merge columns. The separator will be column, and this will be full name. So let's look at it here. It has added it. This is it. Okay, so I can close and apply. So after the date, I'm bringing in, sorry for this, I want it to show only date and time, not date hierarchy. Watch this carefully. We have, when I selected the date, we had year, quarter, month, day. That's not what I want. So I'll go here. I'll right click date and time, and I'll select only date and time. Okay, so I want to add the full name. So the full name will come after date and time, or the full name will come after patient ID. So we have this. Let me put the date here rather. Okay, so what comes next? Age, department, satisfaction score, and waiting time. Age, department. So age comes next. Satisfaction score, department. Okay, so this, don't summarize this also, don't summarize. So age, satisfaction score, department, referral. Okay, so we can now push some of them here, this here, the full name, and then this comes here. Okay, so let me do a bit of formatting here. For the values, I want the alternate background to be white. Okay, so on top here, I want this to also be white. For the border, I want this also to be white. Okay, so let me see what I did here. Oh, okay, I left that rather and change the color to this color. Okay, so I'll add the search. For the search, I went to get more visuals. And get more visual, I added a search visual. So let's wait for it. It's loading. So this is the one I added, test filter. So once selected, you just go to add. So once selected, you just go to add and add it. So I've already added it. I don't need it. So I'll just go here, put it on top here. Let's see where I put it. Okay, so on top here. On top here. And then I selected the full name rather. Very good. I don't need the title to show, so I'll turn it off. And also I don't need the text border to show. So here I can type, let's say we have what name. I added colon instead of comma. Sorry, so let's go back to the transform data. Let's see how we can change this. So I'll go here. For everything you do, it is recorded here as apply step. So you can see this is where we inserted the merge column. So I'll just click here, go back here instead of colon, then I'll put comma and then click OK. Then I can go close and apply. So now the colon will be replaced with a comma. So you can see we have comma here. So let's say I'm searching for Hala. Then I press enter. I see everywhere that we have all. So this, then we have this. I can clear it. Then we have everything brought back. Now I'll go back to dashboard. It looks like we have to do some final touches here. I can copy this, paste it, take it up here. Because I need some space here, I can select this. Then bring them down. Then I'll say patient visit by day and time. Okay, so I'll do the same thing on top here. This can be deleted now. I'll do the same thing here. Patient satisfaction score by, so whatever is selected is what will be shown here. What else? Where else do we have to do something? Another one is the title. So hospital, on top here we have hospital emergency. Okay, emergency room visit. So select all, emergency room visit, select all. I'll make it 16. I'll change the color to this. I'll make it bold. Okay, so something like this. Emergency room visit. Okay, so now I want to be able to navigate. So I'll add the navigation button. So I'll go to insert. I'll go to buttons. I'll go to page navigator. Very good. So automatically I have this. Let me bring it down here. I want to format it. So what I'll do is to take out the background. So let's do a bit of formatting here. The shape, I don't need the shape, the star. Okay, so the fill will be blank. We don't need border. You can give it an accent bar. The accent bar will go down, bottom. By default, the accent bar will be this, and the width will be something like this. Okay, so now when it is selected, the accent bar will be bigger. That's number 4. And then also the text color will be bold and the color will be black. Okay, so we can make it even bigger like this, so that when it is selected, we can see that this is what we have. Let me reduce it more. Okay, so let's see if it takes us to the next page. So control, click, summary, and then we are in the summary. So now in the summary also we need the filters and also the navigator here. So let me select this, copy it. I'll copy it. I'll put it here. For the search, I think the background should be turned off. Okay, so this looks better. I can shift it a bit here. Okay, and then we need to bring in, let me go back to the dashboard, the overview. So I'll click here, select this also, copy, and then come and paste it here. Okay, so this is well pasted. So okay, so and then the title here. So I'll go back here and paste it. Okay, so there is this icon I use here. Let me go and insert that icon. So we go to image, get this icon, reduce the size and put it here. Now I can copy it from here to this. Okay, so I have this here. Now let me hide the summary page so that the moment you load, it is always the overview that you see, the dashboard here. So what I'll do is, for example, if I want to go to the next page, control, and then you click summary, it takes you to this page, and then control, you click dashboard, it brings you back. Okay, so I hope we've not left anything out. Let me quickly check what we have here. I think everything is okay. Let me go to dashboard here. Yeah, everything looks okay. So this is what I had wanted to share with you. Yes, you can make it better. You can add some more features to it. You can add some more pages to it. And if you have any concern, any comment, just let me know. And thank you so much for spending your time to watch this. Your comments and likes and subscriptions are very important. Please make sure you subscribe. Remember to like and share also. Okay, thank you so much. And let's meet another time. Bye.